Welcome back to another edition of the Triple Crown News Minute, presented by Kentucky Equine Research, world leaders in equine nutrition. Chelsea, the Belmont is here. Tomorrow's 12-race card gets underway at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time, 8:45 on the West Coast. Six graded stakes on the card. The Belmont goes as the 10th race at 5:42 p.m. Eastern. It's a little different Belmont we've talked about. The race itself, the day itself will be different. Some of the big races on the card that we're used to seeing, the Met Mile, the Manhattan, are not on the Belmont Day card. It's still a big card. What are your thoughts just on the eve of this race and on the eve of the beginning of the Triple Crown?
It's definitely nothing like we've ever seen before, but I don't know that that makes it a bad thing. Sure, though, there will be an asterisk by whoever wins the Belmont this year, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be a nice horse that wins the race.
Yeah, there's been a lot of teeth gnashing over the distance and the fact that the races are out of order, but I'm in the camp that just says, hey, we've got horse racing. Let's be happy about that. There's a lot of sports out there that have still not figured out what to do as far as when they can play. We don't know if there's going to be an NFL season. So let's just be happy that we've got this game going. We've got the biggest stage tomorrow. It's going to be I think a big television audience for the Belmont, and it turned out to be a good race. I think it's a competitive race. Yesterday you went with the favorite, Tis the Law. I like the rail horse Tappet to Win, who will be in front at least for a while. But let's talk a little bit about the rest of the card, and not every race because there's six stakes. We don't have time for that. But who are a couple of horses that you really look forward to seeing, or a couple of races you look forward to seeing?
Well, the Wonder again, the Grade 3 race, we've got Sweet Melania running in there. She's an American Pharoah filly that was third behind Sharing in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf last year. Sharing's running Saturday morning at Royal Ascot. Assuming her form holds the way it did in her first start this season, I'm excited to see what Sweet Melania can do on the turf back in the U.S.
All right, give me another horse. Well, no, I'll tell you what. I like a race that is fairly early in the card, the Pennine Ridge. It's the fourth race on the day. This horse is not a price at all, but Decorated Invader is one of those closers that just kind of takes your breath away. Single them on your pick threes, whatever. I just think this is a fun horse to watch. Dead closer for Christophe Clement. This is a mile on the turf. I think the race sets up really well for him. So give me somebody else.
Well, you mentioned Decorated Invader's not a long shot. How about I throw you a long shot? I like
Okay.
Glass Ceiling in the Acorn for my long shot pick of the day. Now it's a loaded race. We've got the Bob Baffert filly in there. There's Asmussen's filly in there. There's Grade 1 juvenile filly winner in there. But Glass Ceiling by constitution, he's probably the hottest freshman sire there is right now. And she's trained by Danny Gargan. She's won two in a row. She's flexible. She can be right off the pace, or she can be the pace. I just don't see any reason why with Joel Rosario up that she couldn't catch a piece of it.
Yeah, I think Gamine is an expensive 2-year-old for Bob Baffert. I think she's vulnerable in this spot. Actually, I think her race. She was all out to win at Oaklawn, dropping back from a 2-turn to a 1-turn mile. She might be vulnerable. I think the fun race of the day, other than the Belmont, is the Jaipur.
Absolutely.
This is a field where you've got a mare in there, Alexandra, who I think has a big shot. Pure sensation.
Talk about a war horse.
Yeah, 9-year-old gelding, Christophe Clement's given this horse time off, aiming for this race. I would say obviously he's won it before. Is this the fourth time he's running in it? Something
like that, but it's the first time it's a Grade 1.
Yeah, there's very limited opportunities. for Grade 1 turf sprints. In fact, this might be the only one other than Breeders' Cup Day.
The other interesting, or one of the other interesting horses in the race is, of course, Hidden Scroll, whom handicappers all either love or love to hate. One or the other. There seems to be no middle ground on the horse. They wanted to run him on the turf last out, but he stumbled at the start and dropped his rider, so we don't really know if he likes the turf or not. We don't really know if he wants to go that short or not. But he's certainly got talent. Whether or not he decides to show it, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and the horse in that race that I think unfortunately may be the wise guy horse is Stubbins for Doug O'Neill, coming from the West Coast. It comes off a pretty strong race. Troubled, didn't win it. I think with a clean trip with Luis Saez, Stubbins is going to be really tough in there. So,
well, a horse like Stubbins would have to be a turf sprinter with that name, wouldn't he?
I guess.
It just makes sense, right?
Who is Stubbins?
No, it means it's like stubby, like short, so you would have to run short.
Okay, I thought he was
it's
like
a terrible
an artist
joke. It's okay.
All right. After this word from Kentucky Equine Research, we're going to give you our plays of the day on Saturday.
Horse feeds and supplements developed by Kentucky Equine Research are research tested and race proven. For over 30 years, top trainers and veterinarians have relied on science, technology, and products from Kentucky Equine Research to fuel top performance from the breeding shed to the sales ring and the track. Look for KER products and learn more at KER.com. Kentucky Equine Research, world leaders in equine nutrition.
Chelsea, who was your play of the day for Belmont Stakes Day?
Well, Ray, if you gave me $50 and told me I had to bet it on the Belmont card, I'd all go on Tizzalaw. I think it's his race to lose, just like I said yesterday, and that's how I'm spending $50.
Well, as much as I like Stubbins in the Jaipur, I think that horse is going to be overbet. So I'm with you on the Belmont Stakes, except I'm going in a different direction. I am saying Tapit to win all the way, wire to wire, in the 1.125 Belmont. Good enough to then go on to the Derby? Who knows? This year's too crazy to decide what's next. But that is going to do it for this edition of the Triple Crown News Minute. We'll see you down the road. Have a great Belmont.